Already? Hey, welcome to the round table on a square table. Say what? This is where we're going to sit down with Vitruvian Health team members, trainers, myself, unpacking their training plans. Why are they doing what they do? Let's find out. What are the techniques or tips that we could implement right here, right now in our own training experiences? Look at their client success stories and what they've been doing to get people the results. So then you can use that information to help improve your own training, improve your own nutrition or hack system, and then also improving your lifestyle literally from this episode. So take notes and enjoy, and let's go. All right, welcome to this week's special episode where sometimes it can feel like you're wearing a mask. Not quite sure what's going on, a little bit tired, lethargic, and you're just like, this isn't who I am or who I want to be. Well, we're going to break down how you can take that mask off and be who you really want to be in a few simple steps. So, where does this all come from? I've just attended a 6-day immersive event. Yeah, immersive means I get up at 10 p.m. and I work all the way through to 2 p.m. So much fun, but I love it. So self-development. And I'm giving you all that information over a 6-day period, condensing it into my main takeaways. So let's dive into this bonus episode of the round table on a square table. So I attended Life Mastery with a gentleman called Tony Robbins and his whole team. The reason for this is I personally want to become one of his senior coaches and leaders. I want to be able to give back to more people and really help business owners, individuals, companies, and so much more. The mission is to work with 1 million people and helping transform and change their life. I'm currently at 19,000 and we're looking to scale it as high as we can. And that's why we're doing a podcast. We do free consultations for people interested. And we're also just literally working with companies. We've got Mills Oakley, Meltwater, and a few others to name, which we're really excited about doing personal health checks for their team members, all complimentary. So if you're someone in Sydney or in Australia and you want free health checks for your company, pay for us to fly over to you and we'll do everything else for free. The reason for that is because there's so much misinformation out there. So let's dive into Life Mastery, where life will never be the same again when you do these 3 simple things. The first thing is Life Mastery is a full cleanse. And a lot of people will do cleanse or juices or shakes, or they'll dry. The basis of Life Mastery comes from dry fasting, so you don't eat for 5 days. Now imagine, what would you eat? You would eat nothing. How would you feel? Tired, lethargic. Well, fat stores toxins, and when we release those fat cells, we release toxins. The challenge with a dry fast is you drink lots of water, you'll experience the migraines and headaches, but what's going to help you process that? And that's where the cleanse or a detox shakes and stuff come in, because they have minerals and nutrients. However, with his program, it's all about eating whole foods. So organic fruits and veg, and as many as you can to help your body process all of that. Now, before I started this, myself and my partner, Kate, she's pregnant, she's put on 20 kilos. And the first 3 months, she put on 7. And so did I. And I was like, I need to make a change. And so, but going into this cleanse, I ended up going from 118 kilos down to 104. So I lost 14 kilos. And I still need to lose more because of the wager that I have with my partner. Now, I've started to introduce foods. My weight's up. I take a deep breath, calm the nervous system. It'll gradually come back down by implementing steps, adding protein, all these things. And we all know that information, but sometimes when we're living a high stress lifestyle, it's full of toxins and stress, our body holds on. So with the cleanse, it was all about nourishing the body to get as many vitamins and minerals as possible naturally, and then drop that weight and then start to reintroduce. One of the things that I took away from it is, number one was, and I already said number one, but the thing is, from an emotional level, now I believe I'm emotionally incapable, so I have challenges. I realize gluten and dairy doesn't work for me, so I take it out. Sometimes I'd eat it, but we don't want to be around that carb. So that cleanse over 5 days allowed me to find patterns that maybe I needed to change. Second one was coffee. I was doing 2 to 3 a day. You know, we've got Ben who's listening in right now, and he's like, I love coffee. I would usually go, let's go get a coffee. The thing was, I was probably masking something. Maybe I wasn't sleeping enough. Maybe I wasn't prioritizing my sleep schedule. I'd say, I've got to work, rather than journal my thoughts, put it all down on paper, go to sleep at 8:30, get up at 4:30 or 5, and then action those points, because they'd be fresher. We all know when we're tired, we're not very productive. But if we were to sleep and feel rejuvenated, we'd actually feel better. Or have a power nap. What's a power nap? Or do a coffee nap? There was a doctor that was on this program. Because part of Life Mastery, he's got like 20 to 30 doctors and other health professionals giving their own take. So some you're like, I agree with that. Others you're like, I don't agree with that. But the thing was, it's just information that you get to make a decision with. And so back to the emotional state, which I'll get to in a sec. One of the well, doctors was like, have a coffee nap. So what you do is you have your coffee and then you have a nap. And usually caffeine will take 20, 30 minutes to get into the system and it'll pick you up. So you get one, a bit of rest, restore, and then you get the caffeine hit. So that's a way that you can get a little bit of a recharge with then the benefit of caffeine. A lot of time people don't get it right away. So they'll keep working, they'll slump in their posture, and then they'll get energy. And this is what they'll do. Their pattern will be bad posture helps, but then they fatigue quicker and it just keeps getting worse. So a lot of us have kyphosis, but the thing is, if you took a big breath, you're naturally going to open up. So before you have a coffee, maybe take 5 deep breaths or have a power nap. So back to the emotional state. So the first thing was, it's called a mood quantifier. Ask yourself, where would you rate yourself? -15, you're dead. Okay, you're alive listening to this, so definitely not a -15. And then -15, you're elated with life, like you're unstoppable. You might say, man, I'm tired, I'm lethargic, I'm probably a -4. Cool. So what are the things that you do? You have rounded shoulders, you have 2 coffees a day, you might eat healthy, and that's fine. Most people eat healthy. And the thing is, pizza's okay. It's not bad. It's okay. Though you might say, I'm a -4. Awesome. What would a -1 look like? And you might say, well, I might exercise once a week. Great. Now you know how to qualify and qualify success. What's stopping you? I don't know what to do. Great. Follow us for more, and then you'll have all those answers. Or go into the exercise archive. What would a +4 look like? Oh, well, I would probably get a rebounder, Carl. I'd buy one of these and then I would jump on it. 100%. I agree with you. That's why I got one. However, side note, I learned on the program from some people that, and I've learned this the hard way, is that the spring ones aren't ideal because you bounce on it and it goes ping. You actually want to get elastic band ones. We'll put the link below. I don't recommend, they're not sponsored by these guys. I've just found a few companies that do different rebounders, and so they can actually handle more weight. The spring ones technically hold about 100 kilos, where with the banded elastic one can get up to 150. So then they're a little bit bigger, so can have more fun. And with the baby on the way, definitely want to jump on with the little one. So mood qualifier is qualifying yourself, and what you do is you just work your way up, and then you might get to a 15. The thing is, not everyone's going to get to a 15. Maybe today you go from a -4 to a 4. That could be you just start drinking 3 to 4 liters of water. You go for a walk in the middle of the day, break up the day. So instead of working 8 hours, you work 4 hours intensely, have a 30-minute break, go for a walk, get some fresh air, and then another 4 hours, and off you go. So that was really cool. The first thing that I learned, and just scaling that up. Now, through the food that we're doing juices in the morning, we're doing salads, we're doing soups in the evening, and through the day, if you're feeling tired or lethargic, you might do a lemon water or a juice here. And so you might do a lemon water with honey with a bit of ginger, and you drink on that. I was drinking about 6, 7 liters of water, but half of it was water, and then the other half was with lemon, honey, ginger. Now, a lot of the time people go, that's a lot of fruit. In the short term, it wasn't, because we ramp it up, help the body process what it needs, and then we're going to break it down and see things that we can implement. So for me, I do a little check in the morning. It's called priming. I do these breath work. And then I just check, what am I rating myself today? I can finish today. What was I today? How did I feel like? I was a 10 at the start. It's a 4 at the end. What happened? Didn't take a break. Cool. Use that as a little check-in point. Tomorrow, send a reminder, take a break. Okay. Number 2, the second thing that I really found interesting was that there was a guy that came on and it was about understanding fat. And I really found this resonated with me in the sense of, because we're in the fitness industry, but we also talk about protein, fats, and carbs. But he was turning around and saying, look, no one here is fat, but everybody is fat. You're like, what? Let me explain. The history of fat has been lost in the Latin term derived from lymphatic. So the lymphatic system is what mobilizes fatty acids. That's how we use it. We perspirate it. But we're not treating the lymphatic system, so PHAT, the fat system, appropriately. What that means is, if you looked at a posture and if we were to slump around, do you think this body is going to be efficient at mobilizing fatty acids or have enough energy? You'd say no. But a little thing you can do is open that posture. How do you think this posture looks? You'd be like, oh, that posture looks better. It would probably be more effective, more efficient. If you go back to the mood qualifier, you'd probably be like, I'd rate them higher. Interesting. So automatically, by just changing your posture and changing the state that you're in, you can stimulate the lymphatic system more effectively. If you look at acupuncture, chiropractors, they will look at how they can, trigger point or release the body to release tension So tension could be stress or toxins stored in the body. They release that and that unblocks it and the body starts to circulate. Little thing you can do is you could be bobbing whilst you brush your teeth to stimulate that lymphatic system. So it's like a calf raise, but it's not like squeeze, control back down. Just pulsate. You might breathe through it, brushing teeth, and that will stimulate the lymphatic system. And the thing is, that's 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes at night. That's also 4 minutes more movement than you naturally would do. So think about where you are. That would probably boost you that a little bit more. So these little changes, I was like, because I liked how they explained fat. Like a lot of the time, we're like, I feel fat. Think about mood qualifier back to 1. What would you rate yourself? A lot of the time, I feel fat. Meh. We're probably going to rank ourselves lower. But if we can get the body moving more or feeling better, probably going to rank ourselves higher, have more energy, more output. So there's a quick little things that we can do without having to really change the nutrition. Though the blessing was with the Life Mastery event, they gave us recipes and guides and strategies to help work on detoxing the body, so cleanse it all out, get all that gunk and junk through, and off we go. Another way to think of it is how often do you get your car changed? You get the oil done, the tires done, probably every year. Yet, how many times do we get our bloods done? A lot of people, they don't really get their bloods done until they're sick. Yet, if you were to look at your lifespan from 18, like from 0 to 65, if you got your bloods done every single year, 65, and that's only 65 times. Though each time you looked at your bloods, if you saw maybe your iron's in the red, maybe you could do an iron supplement. You can eat the food too, but the thing is, talk to your doctors and GPs on this one. This is pure education from what I've learned. But just know if you're getting your bloods done, talk to the doctors. Hey, come in. We actually train some doctors. They can look at your bloods. One doctor that I work with here is actually telling me, Karl, it's all great that you do the cleanse, you're doing the nutrition, you've learned all this stuff from Life Mastery. However, if you are still tired and lethargic even after implementing this, you might have a CO2 issue, meaning you're not exhaling enough CO2, so the body's getting more acidic. I was like, that's really interesting. Didn't know that. So looked into it. Here's me doing the sleep test. So there's a picture looking sexy for bed. However, it was really confronting. I was like, and my sleep was worse. So the score is going to be like, yeah, you really got to work on it. It's like, well, I don't plan to sleep with this device all the time. So it's piecing it together and seeing what works. So fun fact, the sleep device is just to look at CO2 levels. There are many other ways to get the data for it. You get a Aura Ring. Again, not sponsored. If you want to sponsor us, go for it. You can go to sleep centers, which actually I think I'm going to go to next time, so I don't have to be strapped up as much, or they'll strap me up and we'll work it out. Lastly, the biggest takeaway out of all of them, and this is the biggest game changer for anyone that really wants to transform and change their life, like moving forward, is really just take massive action. Have a massive action plan in place. Do the mood qualifier. Ask yourself, 50 things that you would do differently if you were to be this number. Cool. Start with 1. Do it today. Tomorrow, do the next one. Next day, and check in. That one didn't work. That was a terrible idea. I don't know why I would sleep in another room other than with my partner, because I love my partner. But why would I sleep on the couch? That was a silly idea. I thought it was a good idea, but no, it wasn't. So you start to create these checklists and points where you're like, yep, worked, didn't work. And then those days, man, I'm cooked. You can look at the list and be like, I didn't drink my water. I slept on the couch again. That didn't work. I slept in front of the TV. I know how that makes me feel. Oh, man, no wonder I'm feeling a -4 today. Cool. Boom. Take massive action. Take that step forward. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be as easy as 1, 2, 3. One thing at a time. And if you did one thing every single day, you'd have made 365 changes within a year. Most people don't do that. So for anyone that's listening, the biggest summary of Life Mastery is it is a detox and a cleanse nutritionally. You don't actually have to do it. You can just learn from like different doctors and specialists in areas. You just pick apart what works. Like I know there was the cool conflicting one is one person's talking about ice baths and everyone's like, yeah, you should do it. And then she's like, yeah, but you could also do like a sauna or a shower. Some hate this, some love that. Find what works for you. Really interesting for a lot of it is like a lot of people do like 7 degrees, yet females should do a little bit warmer because it's a big shock to their body compared to the males. A lot of people don't want to put their whole head in. Put your face in cold water. It stimulates the mammalian divers complex, which decreases cortisol. So you don't have to submerge your whole body. You just put your face in ice water and like, woo, and that'll refresh you. Or if you don't like doing cold showers, do like a warm bath or a hot shower. That is another way to stimulate certain enzymes in the body and certain functions, and so that the proteins in the body. I think it's like you want to be in a sauna for like 20 minutes. to get that. So it was really cool to see that there's lots of information here and lots of information here, so you can make a choice. If you were to push me on one, the cold plunge does help with inflammation a little bit better. However, if you hate it, then it makes you feel miserable. Why would you do it? There are things that you can do step by step. So the biggest thing is life mastery is taking control of your life to be a master of it. And that really just starts with the first step. So if you're feeling stuck, link below. It's our top 20 things that we look at with people whenever they train with us. We start with their water, their nutrition, their food, their structural balance. We'll give you those tools. Use our exercise archive in the other tab. Like hopefully it's popping up here somewhere and it's showing you how to click and get down to the exercise archive. And for some people that just want to start exercise or at home, that's your first step. Just know you can control your life as much as the other person just by making it easier for yourself. 1, 2, 3. And if you feel stuck, reach out and we'll make a video just for you. Enjoy.